Okie dokie, it's the start of a new week, time for another tutorial. Hey guys, you're watching Dansky. This is the place to be to develop your creative skills. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you the tools that you need to know to create some colourful floral patterns, all in Adobe Illustrator. So without further ado, we're going to jump to the screen now and I'm going to show you how to create this. Okie dokie, so we're now in Illustrator. You can see I have a new document. The artboard is 1920 by 1080. And we're going to start by going over to our toolbar, grabbing the ellipse tool. If you don't see it, just left click and hold here. Sometimes it's the rectangle tool. Just grab that ellipse tool and left click, hold shift. Holding shift keeps it perfectly circular. And then we'll go to the bottom of the toolbar and just set the fill color to none. So we have a black stroke or an outline. Next, what we're going to do is try and pop this in the center. There we go. We have our smart guides that nicely line everything up. In fact, this next bit, you're definitely going to want to turn on your smart guides. It will make life a lot easier, trust me. So go up to view, down to smart guides, just make sure they are checked. And what we're going to do is go to edit, copy, edit and paste in place. And then hold down shift and scale from the corner. Holding shift, make sure it doesn't skew out of shape like that. We definitely don't want that. And with those smart guides, it should snap. You see there, it snaps when you reach that halfway point. And I can just move this up, again, holding shift to keep it in line. And you can see it snaps to the halfway point as well. And I can go to edit, copy, edit, paste in place again. And again, hold shift and drag to the right. And if everything is snapped perfectly, you should see something like this. And there we go. So now I can select both of these circles by holding on shift and clicking. We've got a lot of shift holding today. And we'll go to edit, copy, edit, paste in place. Just hover over the corner. And again, hold shift and rotate. Shift is very useful. I hope my shift key doesn't break on the keyboard. That would be disastrous. So hold shift, let go. And you should have created, hopefully, something that looks like this. If you haven't, then, sorry, maybe try again. So we're going to drag over everything here to select it and then go over here. Look for the shape builder tool. It's this icon here. We'll click on the shape builder tool. Now what this tool allows you to do is combine shapes together or remove parts from shapes. So we're going to do that now. So you can see I can hover over individual segments. They all become highlighted. And if I click and drag, it will combine them together. However, we don't want to do that. We want to actually remove some segments. So let's just undo that one. Now, if we hold down Alt or Option on the keyboard, you'll see that plus sign changes to a minus. And what we can do now is drag, still keeping that Alt or Option key held down, drag through everything that we want to remove. And you can see it selected. And when I let go of my mouse, it's going to leave me with these 4 petals in the middle. Now, for some reason, when using the shape builder tool, sometimes it like duplicates shapes on top of each other, and that can get really complicated further down the line. So what I like to do, just to kind of check that there's nothing like that going on, you can see if I drag this out, there's a shape underneath it and a shape underneath it. That's going to cause problems, trust me. So what I like to do is just select each of the top shapes. We're going to hold down shift. So they're all selected, all 4 of them. We'll go to edit and cut. Now what cut does is it will copy it to the clipboard and then remove it as well. So we've now got those 4 petals on our clipboard, and you can see here we've got this underneath. Like, I don't know why the shape builder tool does this sometimes, but for me it's just easier to avoid any complication like that. So we can select all of this, hit delete or backspace on the keyboard. Remember, we've got that on our clipboard. So if we go to edit and paste in place, it now pastes only those 4 in. We don't have any kind of duplicates behind or anything. And we can go to the bottom of the toolbar, just swap the fill and the stroke. And there we go. We have 4 petals with a black fill. Okay. Next, we're going to go over to our swatches panel. I've got mine docked over here on the right. If you don't see it, just go to Window, down to Swatches, and you can position that wherever you like. And we're going to pick 2 colors. Now, it doesn't actually matter what the colors are because we're going to change them. So I'm just going to double click on this pink. The important thing is that we do check the global box. So this just is going to make it so much easier to edit these colors later in the tutorial. I'll show you what I mean. Just trust me for now. Check global, click OK. We'll pick another one. Check global, click OK. And I'm just going to drag these swatches to pop them next to each other. There we go. So we've got a pink and an orange global swatch. So now I'm going to select these 4 petals I've created, and again go to Edit, down to Copy, Edit and Paste. And I'm going to hold down Shift as I rotate until it snaps. There we go, like so. And if I drag over everything, what I'm going to do then is grab the gradient tool. Well, you can drag over everything. You can drag over everything and start adding gradients, and it will try and add the gradient to all of them. So if I just try this, add the gradient, you can see you can do it to all of them at once. I'm going to do it one at a time. It's just a little bit easier, and it probably uses a little bit less processing power on the computer. So I'm just going to select one of these petals, it doesn't matter which one, and then grab the gradient tool from the toolbar on the left. And I've got my gradient panel over here. Now, if you are on an older version of Illustrator, like CS6, then just go up to Window at the top, down to Gradient, and there you go. You will have your gradient panel here. In fact, I think I'll probably just leave mine there for now. So with this one petal selected, I'm just going to click on the gradient slider, and it adds that default black to white gradient. And you can add an angle here, so you could go 45 degrees if you wanted. It doesn't really matter. We'll leave it there for now. And next I'm going to drag over everything. And it's selected. Grab the eyedropper tool from the toolbar on the left. And this is going to sample the gradient that I'm about to click on and apply it to everything else that is selected. So if I click the gradient here with the eyedropper tool, you can see that it gets propagated to every other shape. Exactly the same gradient as well. Now you can go in here and you could start maybe changing individual gradients if you wanted to kind of manipulate the lighting on different shapes, but I'm going to leave it as is for now. I think it looks all right. And what we're going to do is actually click back on this one here. In fact, we can select all of them now because they've all got the same gradient. So if we change the gradient up here, you can see it changes for all of them at once. And I'm going to double click on the black swatch on the gradient slider and pick one of those global swatches. Then I'll double click on the other end, so in this case it's white, and then add the other global swatch. And there we go. It looks quite terrible, but it doesn't matter because we've created those global swatches. We can change this later on. So if we drag over everything now, this is the trick. At the moment we have 8 different shapes all overlapping with a gradient, but they don't really blend into each other very well. So if we go over here to opacity and click on this, you get the transparency panel pop up. Again, if you're on an older version of Illustrator, just go to Window, down to Transparency, and you'll see the same panel pop up over here. The important thing is to go where it says Normal. Now, if you click on this, it will bring up a list of blending modes. If you use Photoshop, these will look very familiar. We're going to check Multiply. Now you can use different blending modes. I definitely encourage you to experiment with different blending modes, different colors, but for me, Multiply is the one that's given me the best effects so far. So what we're going to do is click on this, and you can see it blends a lot of those colors through into one another, and then you get these kind of thinner, smaller petals on the inside. They just become a little bit more accentuated, which looks quite nice. Now, something else you can also do is you can actually adjust the opacity if you like, and you can bring the opacity down. That's one way to kind of accentuate them even more, but if you bring the opacity down too far, then the whole design overall can look a little bit washed out. So I like to keep that up. But what I'm going to do now is we'll close that down, whip open my swatches panel, and I'm going to double click on the pink one. So we'll start with this. We'll just check that preview box, so any changes we make will be updated in real time. And now this is the fun bit. I can start messing around with these sliders. So the reason that we have these global swatches with this checkbox here is so we don't have to go and every time we change a color, go and then re-add it to all of these different petals, because that would just take, well, that would take forever. Whereas now we're just changing the swatch and it updates every instance throughout our document. So any global swatches we have within our pattern, within our design, they just get updated as soon as the swatch gets updated. So let's go for something a little bit warmer. Let's see where this goes. Maybe something a bit brighter. There we go. We'll leave it at that for now. Click OK. Then we'll double click on the other one, check preview. Maybe something a little bit more pinky. pinky ready. I'm just making this up as I go along. And then I'll jump back to the other one. So you can see as I'm adjusting these sliders in real time, I can see what colors are really working and what isn't. So there we go. I'll leave that as it is for now. I could always go back and change those swatches if I want to, but there we go. We have like a geometric floral pattern made up of gradients, which I think looks quite nice and they blend together well. Something else we can also do is we can drag over this. Now we've created it, go to edit, copy, edit, paste in place. And we could manually rotate this, but it's not the most accurate way to do it. So what I like to do is we'll just zoom in here. And with this copy selected, what we're going to do is go over to the transform panel. You can see I've got rotation here. So I'm going to click in this box and then I'm going to use the up or down arrow keys. Now every time I press this, it's going to move the shape 1 degree, or rotate it 1 degree rather. So there we go. So I can just rotate it. So I'm still doing it by eye, but I know that it's at least snapping to the nearest degree. If you do it manually, you're going to get like 45.25 degrees or something. So this is a slightly more accurate way of doing it. And there you go. We've got an even crazier creative pattern now, which looks really, really cool. And we could even go one step further. Grab the ellipse tool. We'll just drag, holding shift. And from the swatches panel, select white as the fill color. And it's going to make it quite hard to pop this in the middle. I think that is the middle. If you're not sure, we'll pop that shape over there, drag over all of these different petals, go to object and group. And then if we drag over the white circle shape and the pattern that we've created, go to window, down to align. This brings up the align panel and we can easily just align these centrally to one another with those options, just so we know it's definitely in the middle. And then we can select the circle and hold down shift, and this will scale it up, but if we hold down alt option as well as shift, it will scale to or from the center. So we can make this smaller. We can make it bigger. That looks quite nice. We could go even bigger still. Something a bit more like that. So it depends entirely on what you're going for. But once you've got a circle in the middle that you're happy with, you could either give it a color or we could just like knock it out completely. So if we drag over everything, again, we're going to go back to the shape builder tool. And remember, we held down alt option on the keyboard and we clicked. And if we just drag through everything with the shape builder tool, so everything is covered, there we go. It knocks it straight out the middle. So if I were to go and throw another color behind there, we can just check. Let's try a different color. So you can see the blend mode of multiply blends onto that color, but we can see that the color from the middle is, well, it's completely knocked out. Oh, and there we go. That's how to create a fun vector floral pattern all in Adobe Illustrator. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, but if you've got any questions or comments, you know what to do, drop those down below. But as always, like this video if you enjoyed it. Take care and I'll see you next time.